I told her to leave. I'm on the title on the house.
It doesn't mean anything. You can't kick your wife out of the house if she doesn't want to leave.
Well,
she has residence.
she was physically attacking me, and I asked her to leave.
So do you use that phone to call people, or does he exclusively use the phone to call people?
It's my son's phone, so he uses it.
So it'd be his property then, right?
You paid for it? It's not his property.
It doesn't matter who paid for it.
It does, officer. And the last time I checked, it does.
On February 20th.
We're back. Hi for coming in again. I just got some follow-up questions to ask you. Thank you for coming. Okay. Where are their phones at?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
No.
Okay. Do you know where your wife's phone's at?
I have no idea.
Or anything?
She thought she dropped it somewhere in the house. I don't know.
Is the phone still here?
No.
Do you know what happened with it?
Yeah, it got broken. It got taken away.
It got broken?
Yeah.
How that happened?
Yeah, I threw it away because he was using inappropriate language.
Okay. So you threw his phone away?
It did.
Is it in the garbage stuff?
It is.
Can we recover it? Is that fine?
No,
Why not?
because it's my phone. I pay for it.
Well, it's garbage now, right?
So it's my choice whether I can give away my son's broken phone. It's my property. I'm not going to give it away.
So it's broken?
I'm sorry?
It's broken?
Yes.
How'd it break?
He threw it down here.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
He threw his own phone?
Yeah.
Why would he throw his own phone?
I don't know. I have to ask him.
Does his Nintendo around here, Chief?
That's gone as well.
You said that's gone as well?
It's gone as well. That's in the garbage.
Is it broken as well?
I don't know if it's broken or not, but it's not getting back. It's not coming back.
Did he ever say anything about calling 911 before you took his phone away?
Did he say call 911?
I'm asking you.
No, he did not.
He wasn't trying to call 911 at any point?
No.
No.
So if his phone is broken and in the garbage, what would be the problem with us recovering it?
I'm not giving you. You don't have a warrant for my phone. It's my property. That is not. You're not giving me his phone.
So I asked you before what you thought your wife would say.
No?
Do you have any idea what she said?
I have no idea what she said.
What about your son? You think what story would he tell us?
I have no idea.
When I asked you before, have we ever been here before? You said no.
Not while I've been here.
Did you never had the police call on you before?
No.
Last August?
Last August.
Similar event?
Similar event. I think she maybe called the police afterwards.
Okay. So, but a similar domestic event, right?
Yeah.
Argument, fight. We got called.
Yeah.
You said we'd never been here before, never called the police before.
I said I never called the police before. I wasn't here when that.
I said, have we ever been here? Or
I have not. I was not here when that happened.
You left that time?
I did leave that.
Okay.
Would we have any reason why we would have injuries on him or anything? Or
Why he would have injuries on him? No.
no reason at all?
No.
So, where were you exactly when you threw the bowl? Where were you standing specifically?
I was about a half a foot away from the counter.
Half a foot?
Mhm.
Okay. So, well, obviously we got some conflicting stories.
Okay.
And we were asking about the phone specifically because we're being told that somebody was trying to call 911 when you took and broke the phone.
I happily called 911, and she could have stayed around here. Both of them could have stayed around here. They chose to leave once I said I was calling 911. So I wasn't preventing anyone from calling 911. They have many devices throughout the house that they can use and call 911 from.
So-
if they really wanted to call 911, they could have called 911.
Well, I guess why...
Like I called it, and they left. I actually called it.
So I'm gonna go back downstairs. The whole argument started downstairs. Is that correct?
It did.
And who touched who first?
She touched me first.
She touched you 1st. How'd she touch you?
The physical confrontation did not happen until up here. The bowl broke. She came after me. I have the marks all over me to prove it.
And those are all from her, you're saying?
They are.
Did Luke cause any of those?
He was in the middle, so he may have caused a couple of these, but the vast majority of this, and this came from her. You look at my hands, I got nothing.
So I am curious, like with the phone thing. I'm gonna keep going back to that because most reasonable people. I mean, I'm a parent. I take my kid's phone away. I'm not gonna break it. I'm not gonna take his Nintendo and break that as well.
At what point did you break the phone?
At what point? About midway through the event.
Was it upstairs?
Yeah.
And so how did you break it? Just like crack it in half, or
Yes.
You did. So it wasn't thrown on the floor.
It eventually got thrown down here.
You see how this is going?
No, I don't.
Okay. Call you in a lie.
You're going to call my lie.
I caught you in a lie
Caught me in a lie.
just now.
Because
You said that the phone was broken because he threw it on the floor.
Okay.
You just admitted on camera that you broke the phone.
Okay. I broke his phone.
So what else is a lie?
There's nothing else that's a lie.
Okay.
And why did you break his phone? Not because he swore at you.
I just told you like 3 or 4 times.
Because he said he was calling 911 and you didn't want him to call 911 at the time, right?
I wanted it to be on camera. That is not what happened at all. I have no idea, but I know that I called 911 while they were still here. They could have happily stayed
While they
here.
were packing up to leave, right? That's when you called?
No, they were doing in the house.
The reason you don't want us to have the phone is because it's broken?
Why
And because
would-
it's yours.
Because it's mine. It's my property. Yes, absolutely, 100%.
So do you use that phone to call people, or does he exclusively use the phone to call people?
It's my son's phone, so he uses it.
So it'd be his property then, right?
He paid for it. It's not his
It doesn't
property.
matter who paid for it.
It does,
My-
officer. And the last time I checked, it does. I own it. I paid for it. I paid the bill on it. It's my phone. I'm pretty sure that makes it my phone. I don't know about what kind of law they're teaching these days, but that would make it my property.
He's the one that exclusively uses it. Right? Just 'cause- I mean,
He exclusively uses a lot of things. That doesn't make it yours. You can rent something, you exclusively use it. That doesn't make it. It's not yours.
okay.
Where's your wife's phone?
Where's my wife's what?
Phone.
I have no idea where her phone's at.
Where does she normally keep it?
Where does she normally keep it?
I mean, she's your wife. Don't you know?
In the bedroom, around the house? I have no idea. She thought she dropped it at some point.
During the dispute, you're saying?
That's what she was claiming. Yes.
Do you have?
Is it in the basement, you think?
I don't think so.
Can we go check?
Sure. Actually, like, am I under arrest? Are you guys? I'm sorry, you don't have permission to go down there. You don't have permission to go down there. You don't have permission to go down there. Like, what like, I'm gonna ask this. Am I under arrest?
So we obviously talk to them, okay?
Yeah.
And that changes things because we get more information
Yeah.
based on what they're telling us. So that's why we came back here to talk to you again, to
I
give
gave
you
my wife ample time to look for her phone. She did not find it. It may be in the basement. It may not be in the basement. I have no idea. But I'm not gonna have you go through my house. It doesn't have a warrant. I'm clearly the person that got beat the shit out of
Okay,
here.
but do you realize you're not the only person with injuries in this situation?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why we came back here, to give you an opportunity to explain how he has injuries, how your wife has injuries.
Really? Okay, well, that's going to be her word against my word because I did not touch her outside of going like this and trying to get her out of the house.
Does she live here?
Does she live here?
Yeah, does she live here?
What do you think?
I'm asking you.
Does she live here?
Does she stay here every night?
Yeah, she does.
Okay, she has residency. You can't kick her out of the house. That's how.
I told her to leave. I'm on the title on the house.
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't matter.
You can't kick your wife out of a house if she doesn't want to leave.
Well,
she has residency.
she was physically attacking me, and I asked her to leave, and she left.
It's part of the phone right here. Where was that happening?
I'm not going to go through it for the fourth time. But what did I tell you already? It happened up here, and it happened up there.
Okay.
Am I under arrest? No. So that's going to be the end of the argument.
Yep. Hands behind your back. You are under arrest.
I'm under arrest? Yeah, I got it.
3 independent criminal statutes are implicated in this case. Each is supported by the subject's own admissions captured on camera. The primary charge is domestic battery under Florida Statute Section 784.03. Battery requires only an intentional touch against the will of another. Injury is not an element. The subject admitted on camera to physically forcing his wife toward the exit. That satisfies the statute completely. Self-defense does not apply. Florida law provides no authority to physically expel a resident spouse. The legal mechanism for spousal removal is a court-ordered injunction. Using physical force as a substitute for that process is itself the predicate act of battery. Second, Florida Statute, Section 877.275. Interference with emergency communication, knowingly preventing a person in reasonable fear of injury from completing a 911 call by destroying their device, is a first-degree misdemeanor, independent of the battery charge. The subject admitted breaking the phone during the altercation. The victim's account confirms it was about to be used to contact emergency services. All elements of Section 877.275 are met on the record. Third, criminal mischief under Florida statute, Section 806.13. Willful destruction of property belonging to another. Subject destroyed his son's phone and discarded the son's gaming device. Combined value at or above $200. Elevates this to a third-degree felony. The subject argued that paying for the phone made it exclusively his. This fails on both legal tracks. An item given to a minor for exclusive use carries that minor's possessory interest regardless of who purchased it. More directly, the subject placed the phone in the garbage. Under the abandoned property doctrine, discarded items lose Fourth Amendment protection entirely. Officers required no warrant to recover it. The prior August incident admitted on camera is a material aggravating factor. Under Florida Statute Section 784.03, subsection 2, a prior domestic battery conviction elevates a subsequent offense from a first-degree misdemeanor to a third-degree felony. Florida Statute Section 741.29 removes all officer discretion. Once probable cause exists for domestic violence, arrest is a statutory obligation, not a judgment call. Probable cause was built under the totality-of-circumstances standard. From Illinois v. Gates, 1,983, documented injuries on the wife, the son's independent account, the subject's contradictory statements, and his on-camera admission. Each element advances the analysis. The officer receives an A-. Returning to the subject after gathering independent accounts reflects investigative discipline. The structured interrogation produced a self-incriminating admission without coercion. When the subject refused consent to search the basement, officers honored that refusal without pressure. The Fourth Amendment carries no exception for probable guilt. That boundary was correctly respected. One concern: the subject asked twice whether he was under arrest before receiving a direct answer. If a court determines he was not free to leave at that point, statements made in that window may implicate Miranda under Berkemer v. McCarty, 1984. Unlikely to affect admissibility here, but a training level issue. The subject receives a D. 3 statutory violations: on-camera deception, active obstruction of emergency access, a prior pattern. The wife receives a B+. She called 911, provided a corroborated account, and cooperated fully with investigators. Leaving before officers arrived created a brief gap. It's in contemporaneous injury documentation, not a legal error, but a relevant evidentiary note. 3 lessons from this case. Second, title ownership does not authorize physical removal of a resident spouse. Choosing force over court process is the criminal act itself. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like discussed in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to watch more engaging videos on our channel.